Good evening, everyone. D family. Such a pleasure being here a few days before Shavuot, which is just a feminine holiday, right? Can we all agree that we've got the Megillot covered, the women? And Hani, it's always such a joy to be in Hani's presence in her community and the way she leads this community and the events she puts together that are full of heart, significance, content. I think we all leave inspired for every single one of Hani's gatherings, and I'm just privileged to always be invited and to be able to come here. So we're celebrating Shavuot in 2 days, but I want to just remind everybody that we celebrated Yom Yerushalayim 2 days ago. So we are between Yom Yerushalayim and Shavuot, and I want to talk a little bit about that juxtaposition that we're in right now, because I still feel like I'm in Yom Yerushalayim, because yesterday we had, right over there in the Davidson Center, we had a celebratory city council meeting right by the walls. And so I'm still kind of reeling from Yom Yerushalayim. And I want to remind everyone where we are and where we're going in terms of our people and in this special city. Yom Yerushalayim is a celebration of the reunification of our city in modern times, right? But we know that this is not the capital city of the Jewish people for 56 years or even 75 years. We know that Jerusalem is the capital city of the Jewish people for 3,000 years. Now, why? How did we wind up here? So, of course, you've got the explanation that this is where Akedat Yitzchak happened, Har HaMoriah. We know the significance of this. But let's go to something a bit more realpolitik. And let's talk about King David for a second and why he decided to create the capital of the Jewish people here. Because King David was the king of Yehuda, of Judea. The capital of Judea is Hebron. So he had a vision to unite all the different tribes of Israel. We were tribal people, the way our cousins and neighbors around the country are tribal people still. We were tribal people then. But King David was a very smart politician, and he had a vision. He wanted to create one Jewish people, not tribal people. And so he thought to himself, what can we do to do that? And where can we set the center, the capital of the tribes, so that every single tribe can feel that this is their house? Because if he puts the capital in Hebron, everybody will be going to his house, to his tribe. And Yerushalayim was neutral ground. It didn't belong to any one tribe. And so he decided to set up, it helped that there was a little river, of course, but he decided to set up the capital in Yerushalayim precisely because it didn't belong to one tribe, and this could be the gathering of all tribes. And so Yerushalayim is not just our capital city, it is the reason we became one people. That is Yerushalayim, and that is what we're celebrating this week. And then, bringing it into the message of unity of Rabbi D, that message that we're all one soul, this is where it started to happen. This is where we became one people. And now we go from Yom Yerushalayim to Shavuot, which, if anything, is the story of love and loyalty. And loyalty is very important. I've got to tell you, as a politician, it's very important. You don't find it many places. And the story of Ruth and Naomi is a story of unconditional love for a mother-in-law, who knew? And on top of that, this loyalty. And on top of that, this acceptance of the other. Because Ruth came into our people. And I think that sometimes we forget that love the stranger is more important than love your neighbor. And it is actually mentioned more times than love your neighbor. And that is because even though we are a people of particularism, we have our customs, we have a halacha, we have a Torah. We are not people who don't believe in inclusion. And if anything, that Chabad stands for, that I completely admire, is that inclusion that we see in the Jewish people. They are the shlichim of the inclusion all around the world today. And so as we go into coming out of Yom Yerushalayim, where we became one unified people, and as we go into Shavuot, where we have the story of we accepted the Torah, and also where we see this beautiful story of friendship, of love, of loyalty, and in the light of Lucy and her wonderful daughters, that let's not forget why we're here, what we're doing here, and what we're supposed to do here. Love and kindness. Chag Sameach to everyone.